places I have visited. You'll finish badly one day, gunslinger. Where will you go now?
To the north.
I'm here at Plastic Wax. They do animation for games. Let's go check it out. Nathan Madams, you're the creative director of Plastic Wax. Yep. Tell us about what you do.
Anything from sort of overviewing it from a very early concept stage, moving it through the boards and characters, approvals, getting the look and feel of the project, and working quite heavily with the team members in their various talents and areas to sort of achieve the final look of the project and watch that along its development.
So what have you guys done for S.T.A.L.K.E.R?
Well, basically, from our point of view, a lot of our involvement has been really driving the story. It's quite a complex game with quite a lot of free roaming sort of options and elements that you encounter that are controlled by A-Life, which is this element which triggers different events as you progress through, or that have their own life cycle and life and kind of behaviours. Basically, there are a few story-driven elements, though, which get you to your end goal, and that was the area where we sort of came in to sort of help the storytelling process and the cinematic process in those events that you sort of have to go through to get to your end result.
This one seems to be alive. What a lucky guy. At least death would have saved you from the dreams.
What would you recommend someone that wants to move into this industry to do?
The idea of what we do is to try to create reality or a stylized reality. So it's observing other people, observing things around you, and even just looking at games. There are cool moments in games where someone will look at it and think that's great, but have a think about why it's cool and what it actually does. And then beyond that, just really get into the software, see what software you can get hold of, enroll yourself in a course. Although I've found that most of the time the baptism of fire in terms of really just getting into a workplace and starting at a junior level and then just working your way up is a really good way of getting your skills up very quickly.
Richard Pritchard, you're the man to talk to about the process of moving the game into the movie section. Is that right? What do you do?
Well, I'm a texture artist / sculptor, and basically they give me a image of the game res model, and I recreate it in 3D again, sort of high res, so it's more photorealistic.
And what software are you using to do this right now?
This is called ZBrush. With this you can have a lot more polygons in your mesh, you can have high res textures, you're not limited by any sort of gaming engine. Basically when I've done my work, I will go back into Max and I will rig it for animation, and I'll take my model and my textures and I'll animate it.
And how did you get such a cool job? You know, what did you do to get here?
Well, you got to stay up till 4 in the morning studying this program all night.
So playing games won't get you here?
No way. No way.
Okay, so David, you're working on S.T.A.L.K.E.R. What exactly are you doing with these models?
Okay, so basically to get to this point, it's gone through modelling, animation, texturing. It's my job as a lighting artist to take all that together, add lights, and basically make the final image, which is what we see here. With S.T.A.L.K.E.R, it was interesting. We had a significant amount of work put into the lighting and the shading, to the way that the face looks, the way that the skin looks.
And what kind of hardware or software do you use to make the rendering and lighting?
We use Max and Maya. All the characters were done in Max and rendered with Brazil. The sets were rendered with V-Ray. Some of the heavy effects scenes were rendered in Maya. And all composited in both After Effects and Shake.
So who do we have here?
This is Gunslinger. This is the character that you play as in the game.
And how did you go about making him?
Gunslinger, we had a specific brief from the game. Of course, you can see the character in the game sometimes, so it has to match that pretty closely. We put in a bit more detail, obviously, because it's pre-rendered. We don't need to worry about that so much. And built up the face and all the different textures till we get the final character that you see here.
So you're so immersed in this whole process. Are you actually looking forward to the game?
Yeah, I really can't wait to play it.
Oh, awesome. Maybe I'll play you sometime.
I think for this one, I can give you
Damn, man, that place looked cool, and you got to see some Stalker.
Yeah. Don't you remember? We spoke to one of the guys from the development team when he visited Australia earlier this year.
It is one of the first games that has really added a lot of RPG to a first-person shooter, and also depending on how you want to play it, you can play it very differently. You can play it kind of in a stealthy, very careful go through, or you can go in with more of a first-person shooter blowing everything up. You play a stalker who's lost his memory and is trying to find out what happened at Chernobyl after the second explosion. There's an area around it called the Zone that a number of strange things are happening. The culture is so different than any other part of the world that I've ever been to, and I think it comes through in the game. And the development team being there, I mean, it's a very different lifestyle, and it's just the country in general is very poor, and especially in the winter, it's very dark and depressing, and I think that feel comes through in the game. We've had people that have worked at Chernobyl come out and look at the game and just be amazed at the realism of it and the look and the feel. And
you have been a busy bee, and I can see why they keep on delaying Stalker.
But now it's due out in early 2007.
Sweet.
Hee hee.